While you are waiting for the results, one of the things you need to be aware of is the list of documents, or rather supporting documents you need to have once you check the results and you become the winner. I'm going to share you this little presentation. You can see if you go to the Google search and write DV lottery supporting documents, here there will be a lot of search results. You'll be able to find them. And some of the videos I've already shared is the top of videos. Let's start with the one thing that KCC, or Kentucky Consular Center, is no longer requesting documents. So this is the breaking news. It was on December 9. So apart from that, this is the list of checklists or the documents which are required for all the lottery winners. And I'm going to share those documents, or the list of the documents. I know people, after checking the DV lottery results, they are just excited, they are happy, doing everything they want, but sometimes they forget to know some of the important things. What are the next steps you need to have or to do, and what are the important things you need to do? You can see on my screen, the first thing you need to do is the application, to fill the application form, the DS 260260. This is a visa application form, or rather we call immigrant visa application. This form is a very comprehensive. Remember, even if you are not coming with your spouse or your child, you have to add that you have a child. But if you're not coming with, that is another case. But if you are coming together with that person and you use that person in the application, there is a way to add the derivative. I'll make a separate video about how to fill the DSC 260. So the first thing is to fill the DSC 260. So DSC 260 is nothing different. It's just the visa application form. Just like people who are using the visa application form for visiting tourists, whatever, all those we call non-immigrant visas, those people are filling the form is called DSC 160, non-immigrant, and you are going to fill the immigrant visa form. If you want, you can print it out and try to fill on your own before you go to finish the application. But you can go and fill it and then don't submit it. You can come back later, continue the filling of the form. Once you fill, there will be some of the documents which you are supposed to have, the supporting documents. Remember, now the Kentucky Consular Center is no longer requesting for the documents. So these documents are not going to be, do not send any document listed below to KCC. These documents, you are using these documents to go to the embassy. Prepare all required documents per list below for submitting to the embassy at the time of your visa interview. Please do not send any documents listed to KCC. So they are not requesting for the documents. Number one is passport. Passport, even if a person you are coming with is a person with 1 day old, you must have the passport. You will not be allowed to come to America without a passport because it has to have a visa stamp. The visa is printed inside your passport. That will be the visa, how it appears on your passport. So you must make sure that each and everyone, regardless of the age, must have the passport in order to come to America or to get the visa. Number two, birth certificates. So the main applicant must have the birth certificate. And if you are coming with children or spouse, also they need to have the birth certificate, must be included. This is very, very important. You need to have. Okay. Another document, you need to have marriage certificate or termination or whatever. If you are married, you need to have those documentations. Then, if you made any change of your name, you have to make this change. For instance, your name was John, you change your name to be Abdallah. Maybe you converted from Christianity to Islam, or from Islam to Christianity, or whatever reason you change the name. You have to have the official legal documentation to prove that you changed the name. But also, some people, they use the, for example, they give you example, you change the birth name to married name and back to the name after divorce, for instance. You have to have those documentation to prove the change of name. But also for the people who have maybe the certificate, school certificate has different spelling to maybe to the passport, make sure you have also just a affidavit from the lawyer, legal affidavit, to show that you are the same person. For instance, your name, for instance, on my name, I say Ernest Boniface Makulilo. Let's say my birth certificate is say Boniface with the FACE, but my school certificate is say Boniface with the PHACE. That case, I have to have the legal documentation to prove I'm the same person. You need to have the photograph. Make sure that you have to take the photo according to the instructions. Then you remember, you must have the evidence to prove that you have a required minimum requirement of education or work experience. That is very, very important. You must have those that kind of information to have it. So whether it is a school certificate, you need to have those one. If it's work, I don't want to say that you must go and have the full resume, all those kind of things, but make sure that you have something which you need to have. And I'll come to talk about the money too, which will be required in this visa processing. So everything is very, very important. So make sure I have so many videos talking about this education or work experience. For those who are using a work experience, there is this website called Online Onet online website. You can be able to use this one to see if the job you have meets the US Department of Labor the range. Then police certificate or clearance. This applies for any person with 16 years old and above. And if you have lived in any country for at least 6 months, you have lived. The exception is number one is except if you have lived in the United States. Yeah. But apart from that, you need to have that one. Then it has to show if you have been arrested, it has to indicate that one. Again, other documentation is if you have ever been to court and the prison, you have to have that documentation. Military, that if you have ever been in the military, not as a civilian, as in the army or navy or marines in your country, that is applying. If you have been deported from US, you must have. If you have been deported to other countries, they don't care. This says visa applicants who have requested an extension of stay or change of status while in the US or have been deported from United States must present applicable documentary evidence. They don't care if you have been deported from South Africa or from Ghana or from Dubai or from England, whatever it is. And remember, these documents must be original to go with them at the US Embassy. And these documents must be in English. If they're not in English, make sure that they are translated in English and they are going to be notarized. Those are the important things you need to know. Then obviously you need to have the medical examination. You have to do the medical examination. That is another thing you need to have. And the last thing is non-refundable, $330, which you need to have on the day you go to the interview. So the day you go to the US Embassy, you go there, you need to have cash. They are not going to take the check. They're not going to take your debit card. They're not going to take your credit card. They're not accepting Western Union. They want actual cash. My advice is don't go with maybe 500 or 400. You expect them to give the change back. Go with the actual amount which is required to avoid that kind of any disturbance. If they don't have the change, you cannot say, oh, by the way, don't give me interview today. So review all your documents. Make sure that all the documents are correct. But Don't go there and fill the documents randomly, and then you go to the interview, you don't have those documentations. Your happiness, which you are planning to have, or you had on day one after winning, it will disappear, and you're just ending up just crying over and over. So what I want you to do, there are some people who are going to be the winners. I provided the service of people who are the winners of the DV lottery. I will be able to review all their documents. I will be able to fill the DSC 260 for them. I will be able to prepare them for the interview. After they get the visa, I will be able to give the guidance on how they can be able to start their life in America, individualized plan. If you want to come to study, I will give the plan. What kind of education, how to start, financial aid, what type of schools, how long, when should you go and do all the processes. I'll be able to guide you those one for the fee of $250 if you want me to help you on that. Because winning is good, but if you go there and you mess up, you put information which you cannot verify, you might be able to be denied the visa and you'll be surprised. So those are the important things I want you to understand about the documents which you need to have in order to be able to process everything after winning, and the documents you need to have on the day of the interview. I believe this is able to help you. Please share this video to other people and make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel.